Well, I'm back out again for another wild camp and wander. And this time I'm in Scotland, Dumfries and Galloway. And I'm near the town of Lochmaben. And I'm right beside Castle Loch. I'm looking for a castle. And you guessed it, the castle's called Lochmaben Castle. It's round here somewhere. Right, what we've got here. Surely not a wild camping hut. This must be somewhere where you can observe the wildlife. Push. Canny views like. So if you have a bit of a twitcher, this is the place to come for a bit spy on the wildlife. Big brother's watching. I wonder how long it'll take it to get to the pub. Maybe about 20 years or so. You know, modern day living can be a little bit hectic. You know, we're always in a hurry to get from one place to another, the fastest possible time from A to B. And you know, you've got the humble slug there, going about his business, just taking his time. You know, we can learn a thing or two from him. You know, if we slowed down to the same pace as him, I know we're getting outdone at work. We wouldn't get anything done, really. But if we had a mentality where we kind of slowed down a little, I think life would be a bit more enjoyable. You know, I think if you're out walking, you'd enjoy the countryside a little bit better. You'd have the time to, well, you'd slow down and have the time to take things in. And I'm full of rubbish, aren't I? A little bit of food for thought, inspired by the slug. Well, we're underneath a massive beech tree and there's loads of nuts on there and they're edible. And it's getting to that time of year when there's a lot of wild edibles you can harvest. I mean, just down here you've got blackberries. I mean, it's only August, but in fact it's nearly into September. But already there's, you know, if you have a good look around, there's fruit which you can, you know, pick. So there's nothing stopping you having a little bit of foraging while you're out walking. A little bit bitter, a bit tangy. It's a bit early for them. I've got a couple, but I don't think they're ripe. There is a bit of a nut in the middle. Is it there? Tiny little thing, undersized. Probably have to wait another couple of months. There's no flavour now. It just tastes a bit woody. And I'm nearly sure if you eat too many of these you get the skitters. It's like a bit of a laxative. I might be wrong, like. I suppose if you eat too much of anything it will make you bad. Right, we'll go and find this castle. castle's been here since the early 1300s. It was built by Edward I, who took the original castle from the Scots. But the original castle, which was further up in the town of Lochmaben, was built on a... It's actually under a golf course now, but there's a little mound remains, which is a motte. That's what the castle was built on. But the Bruce family built that, and it was rumoured that Robert the Bruce was born there. But anyway, when Edward I sort of like took the castle, he decided he wanted to build a more fortified version. So he built it a little bit further south beside the loch. We've got this fence up because it's just basically fallen to bits. In medieval times, forest and marsh forced travellers from England up through Annandale towards Lochmaben. The Bruce family, ancestors of Robert the Bruce, were lords of Annandale in the 12th century. In around 1200, they settled in Lochmaben, not here but in a motte castle nearby. Bruce's grandfather, Robert Bruce, the competitor, died there in 1295. It's an old castle, like. There's no dressed stone covering the smaller stones. And this fence is basically up because the place is fallen to bits, and it's for safety reasons. You can't get in. I think all that remains now is there's the moat, and there's the inner part of the castle. And the moat actually connects with the loch, so I'm told. I love history. But apparently the castle changed hands loads of times, you know, during the War of Independence. And then after the Union of the Crowns in 1603, there wasn't really a use for it. You know, it didn't really hold as much strategic advantage, or strategic importance, I should say. So it was sort of like abandoned, and it was robbed of its stone. So really all you're looking at is a shell of its former self. It was quite substantial at one time. There's some dressed stone there. That's the stone they would have taken to build the town. The other stone, that's just like a inferior stone. They put the stuff on the outside to dress it off, make it look nice. Get a bit more foraging done. That's a nice blackberry there. Bit tangy still, but they're getting sweeter. You got the moat down there. Can't really see it, it's all overgrown. I wonder what that could have been. Might have been a room or something, but you know, it's all swamp now. It's all... Oh, there's the water in the moat. But you can't drink out of that. It looks like there's a bit of a step down here, isn't it? Gotta be careful I don't fall here, like. I'm on my own, you know. But definitely step down. Unless that's just the way they built the castle. This seems to be the most fascinating part of the castle, like. These two arches. Could you imagine boats sailing up there? I mean, why else would you have two arches on a moat? Unless it was a small canal at one time. I mean, you can see some of them stones look like it could fall down any time. Doesn't look very safe at all. I wonder what treasure lies just below the surface. I wish I brought me metal detector now. Just kidding. I'll get me nuts chewed off if I get caught with metal detector in this place. I need to try and picture, you know, what it looked like back in the day. But you can never really imagine it because this is only a fraction of what was once here. By the 1800s, the castle ruins were a spectacular backdrop to local social events and a convenient quarry for the growing town. That's the way the Victorians are very romanticised everything, didn't they? Like the paintings and that. And I would imagine at one time you would have had some fantastic views of the loch before all these trees were here. I think I need to start thinking about finding somewhere to camp. But I'm going to have to wait, I think, because there's people still coming and going. There's already a guy camping in the woods there next to the loch. I think he's fishing. He's got his bivvy, a fishing bivvy, and I seen him with his fishing rod, so obviously fishing. Yeah. Man Camper 66, you'd love this place. Right up your alley. I know you like to go camping where there's a loch so you can do a bit of fly fishing. But I think you've got to buy a permit here, which isn't I don't know if it's coarse fish mind or whether it's, you know, it's stocked with trout, you know, so it might not be suitable for fly fishing. But I know you like places like this. Check out Man Camper 66. He just lives a couple of miles from me actually. I used to work with him. I thought I recognised his face when I found his channel. I thought, he looks familiar. Got a canny spot here, like. Some nice views of the loch. The only thing is, there's a path through here and you've got picnic tables and a seat. and that's a magnet for walkers, you know, and I really want to pitch here, but I can have a bit crack on here with you later when I'm drinking my beers, guys. Got a couple of them crafty beers to try. But I think this is probably going to be the best spot for me. It's nice and flat. It's on higher... Nearly tripped over. It's on higher ground. This is the location for a wild camp. Lochmaben Castle. Doesn't get much better than this. I just hope there isn't any widow makers up there, because them trees look old. Right, I'm always getting asked what I put in my pack when I take camping, so I'll do a quick unpacking and just basically show you what I take. I mean, every camp for me is different. You know, if I'm camping like somewhere, like, it depends on the season, it depends on the location, but for a minimal wild camp, this is what I usually take. Loads of food, but I tend to try and dehydrate my food, or bring dehydrated food along, or stuff you add water to, so it's going to be a lot less bulk, a lot less weight. I get asked a lot, you know, what pack I bring, and I've got a few, ranging from 25 litres to 75 litres, but the one I find the most useful and the most comfortable is my Caramo Sabre SF35. Lovely little pack this, like. I think the reason why I like this is, I mean, it's comfortable, you know, and because it's 35 litres, you can't take too much with you, especially if you're at a minimal wild camping. So what I found is, I have to make some hard choices. What do I need to take? You know, what's necessary, what's important, what can I get away with without leaving myself so uncomfortable, you know. Sleeping bag, and because it's summer, I'm using the Tesco Micro Light Mummy sleeping bag. Comfort rating, it's only good to go down to 12 degrees Celsius. It's not a warm bag, it's just basically a summer bag. Hat for when it gets cold. I've got my roll mat, Thermarest Pro Light. I've got long johns, just woolly hat and long johns for when it gets cold later. That's my food that I put out before. That's just to charge my phone, and charge my GoPro, head torch, USB lead. And even though I've got my phone, this is something people should realise as well. Whenever you're out in the hills, or if you're anywhere camping, you should make sure you've got a map and a compass. I mean, I know I should practice what I preach, and I have been slacking off, like. But originally I did start off with maps and compasses all the time. My watch has got a compass, and as far as maps goes, I've got maps on my phone. It's an Android device. I've got maps on my Garmin Oregon 650. You know, so I've got two devices, if one should fail. This one here, I hardly ever use it. Only ever use it when my phone goes dead, because the phone, if you're using a GPS on your phone, it's going to go, you're gonna run the battery down in a matter of a couple of hours, basically. So you need backup. And the beauty with this, the Oregon 650, it takes AA batteries. AA batteries are easy to get hold of. You know, you can carry extra ones. Whereas with your phone, unless you're using like a power bank, something like this. This is a Anchor. It's cool, it's got a little torch built in as well. So it's multifunctional, I like that. Get back to what I take for camping. Roll mat. I've got this Snug Pack Stratosphere bivvy. When you look at the size of that, that's the size of my hand. It takes up hardly any room whatsoever. I love the bivvy experience, and I wanted to keep that. You know, I don't want to lose out on that. I like to be able to lie under the stars, you know, like unzip it and just lie there and peek out at the heavens, you know. That's what I really enjoy doing. And in a tent I can't do that. There's not much there, is there? I mean, that's the size of my hand. Obviously, depending on the time of year, you might need a warmer sleeping bag in the winter. You know, the only thing that's missing now is a pillow, which I don't really need, because I can roll up my coat or my pants, because my mum I'm sleeping in my long johns. So, you know, I can even use my backpack, because it's a small enough pack. I can put this in the head of my bivvy and just lie on that. There is a kind of fine line between going minimal and being totally uncomfortable, having a really crappy night's sleep and having a comfortable night's sleep. There's a lot of, I wouldn't say skill involved, but it's just, and look, I suppose it's just knowing what to take on the trip, just having that experience. I've got a survival blanket. You know, you just never know when you're going to have a really cold night's sleep. I've got a first aid kit, just a basic one, right? And I'm not even going to get into that, like, it's everything's shoehorned in right tight, and it's sweet to get back in. I've got cordage, because you never know when you need a little bit of cordage. Your bootlace might snap or anything, you never know. I've got me Catadine Hiker Pro. On this side, I've got me cooking kit. I've got buddy burners. I know I said I wasn't going to use them anymore, but we're in a woodland environment, and I think looking, you know, I could get away with using them. It's not windy, you know, you get a lot of soot off them, but I've made absolutely tons of them, so I've got to use them up. And I said I was going to get into gas, like. What I love about this little setup is I can get a lot in. Saying that, because I haven't got the inner lid, I can get a bit more in. I've got this folding cup thing, and funnily enough, this holds enough water for one of those 2-in-1 or 3-in-1 coffees. It's just the right amount of water. It's ideal for a quick brew in the woods. So I've got a cup there. I've got a pot / bowl, whatever you want to call it. Bit of a plate bowl, I don't know. And I've got 2 pots. So I've got a nest of 2 pots. I've got a lid, which is a bowl. But yeah, soup out there. You can drink tea, coffee out there, you know. Another cup. This fits in as well. Now I found this. I know it's got things in it, like, but you know, like hand sanitizer and washing up liquid. But I actually love that, like, because I found it on the side of the road. It was weird. I was out walking the dog, and there was a load of rubbish. Somebody must have just dumped it or something. And I thought, you know what it is? The way they lost it, I just chucked it away, and that's just brilliant. It just fits into there, it's perfect. And my cup goes in, and that goes on the top. And I've got to say, you don't have to spend loads and loads of money to go camping. You can start off with cheap gear. I mean, I started off with this. You know, I thought I can't afford, you know, titanium pots and pans and all that, and I bought this. And you know what it is? I'm still using it now because it's all I need. You know, what can I say? But I've got a couple of beers to try later, guys. The Ginger Grizzly, alcoholic ginger beer. It's only 4%, that, like, and I actually thought that was 6%. That's why I got it, but never mind. I'm gonna try it. And the Ruby Rooster Ruby Ale number 4. So you got a number 6 and number 4. Where's the number 2? I'll get one of them in the morning, eh? Oh, there's a number 1 as well. So I'll be there. Oh, never mind. But saying that, I'll not waffle too much. I'll get me top. I'll get me bivvy set up, and we'll get some of these eels tested. I'll get back to you when I'm finished there, and I'll cut down on the waffling for a while. Right, guys, I'll give you a look at my setup. Just keeping it simple as usual. Just me and the bivvy. So this is my camp location. These woods on the edge of Lochmaben Castle on the edge of Castle Loch. Right, I'm gonna get something to eat and then I'm gonna try them crafty beers and I'll bring you along for the adventure. So I haven't tried these two, so without furthering ado, I'll get done for anti-Semitism here, like. You know what I mean? We'll have a swallow, yeah? Right, I'm gonna try the little one of the two. The Ruby Rooster. And remember, I've got my friend sitting next to us, right? He's probably called Nigel, or Tom, or Frank, or something like that, you know? So come and look me up, you know what I mean? Tired of myself in the woods. It's all about being out in the woods, you know? Getting out and doing a wild camp, you know, it makes sense. Ruby Rooster, Ruby Ale. Alcoholic 3.8%. Doesn't sound promising to me, like. I can taste the hops, the tannins. And you know what it is? It reminds me of Pettigo Wick. When I was camping with Andy in the Stig. Very similar beer, you know, not much variation. Just a different label. Same shit, different day. Same shit, different label. What can I say? I shouldn't be that hard and I haven't really tried it yet, like. What do you think? You can be my friend on YouTube, eh? What do you think, mate, eh? What do you reckon? Have a drink? Have a drink? What do you reckon? Any good? Can't hear you. Just the same as the last one. Aye, right. And they'll come and lock me up and have a talk myself. You know, I was going to pretend I had a friend here called Nigel. You know, but it's not going to work, is it? It's a Ruby Rooster. Cock-a-doodle-doo, eh? Doesn't do enough for me, like. Aye, Andy, if you're watching, right, I've come to the conclusion that cheap isn't always best. It smells like it's got a lot of nose, you know. Nice. I think I saw Bromeo and I'll count the beer guzzler. The beer guzzler range. I would give it a 5 out of 10, that one, like. What do you reckon? You reckon, mate? 5 out of 10? The invisible mate here? 5 out of 10? He says a 5 out of 10 as well, you know. Now this is the last in the series of these crafty beers from that particular pub, or that particular brewery I should say. And I'm just expecting more of the same, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna piss up my back or nothing like that. I'm just gonna be honest when I ooh, that was different. I got a bit of a zesty smell there, like. Could this is the ginger ginger beer, isn't it? What's pink and smells of ginger? Oh, come and lock me up, will you? Definitely ginger, like. No hint of Fred Astaire, by the way. Oh no. Actually, this is quite nice. It's quite different. That's that burning on the back of the palate. It's like like ginger beer. I'm gonna revise me theories on this brewery. Them crafty beers you buy from Lidl's, they all taste the same. There's not much difference in them. I didn't rate them. I think they're gimmicky with a fancy labelling. They're overpriced for a start. Even though they're around about $1.29, $1.50 and all that carry on. I've had better continental lagers in bottles from Lidl's than this rubbish. $2.79. Now 5% thereabouts, or 4.9, something like that. And it's like Stella Artois. Tastes very Stella Artois. You like that one? Watch my lips when I say Stella Artois. Still Artois. I never know, is that a marketing ploy or what? Like, you know, the way you got to say it. Still Artois. All I know is, right, this beer is tastes exactly the same or thereabouts to Stella Artois. I didn't particularly like Stella Artois, but this is what Lidl's has got in, right? And it's like, it's a decent premium beer, $2.79, and it's like, it tastes better than most crafty beers I've ever had. You know, what can I say? It's a bit gimmicky, these crafty beers, what can I say? It gets you drunk, which is a good thing. Morning. I didn't really film much this morning when I got up. It's been raining off and on, so I've just packed my camp up. I've had my breakfast, and I'm just gonna get away. What can I say about this place? It's woods. It's peace and quiet, apart from the geese. The geese were making quite a lot of noise last night, even in the dark. But I'd really recommend coming here. Like, it's got some nice ancient woodland. You know, you can camp in. You're right next to a loch. But I would imagine the midges could be quite bad here. But there was a slight breeze all night. It's actually dropped this morning. But the grey clouds is rolling in, and it's humid. And I can already feel the drizzle. So I'm gonna stop waffling, guys. I'm gonna get away. And always bag your litter and take it home with you. Leave no trace. We'll see you on the next one.